Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, March 10, 2024. Well, that's 3:15 p.m. Eastern. How many of us truly have self-confidence? Something that you can ask yourself about to determine where you're at with it. Some people, life is like a wild tiger, and you can either lie down and let it lay its paw on your head, or sit on its back and ride it. A lot of people lie down. And having confidence is different than having ego confidence. Having confidence in the heart-mind, who you are, what you are. Confidence in the God that you are. Confidence in the universe. One of the most effective ways to literally manifest anything in our lives is having true confidence in ourselves and in the dream life we desire to have. Isn't it ironic that we have all this power within us, yet so many have yet to discover how to tap into it? So we do everything in the opposite direction. We push, we pull, we try to hurry, rush, and then comes what? Frustration. Why didn't this happen the way I wanted it to happen? And I believe that we know that when we do feel great about ourselves, we're sending out powerful positive vibes into this world, which come back to us in the form of amazing, spectacular opportunities, more abundance, and positive relationships. This is the direction. And it's interesting that there's so many that believe that something comes from outside of us and it's going to save us, or it's going to miraculously bring things in, when all along the treasure trove is within us. It just happens in the course of a lifetime that our soul yearns to mature deeply within itself. And to do this, it must attract a super challenging situation that will teach us to look deeper inside and find where the source of everlasting confidence comes from. Somebody will get angry at us, become disappointed in us, start neglecting, ignoring, and even physically and emotionally abuse us. If we become identified with the negative experiences, we can feel bad about ourselves and this world and shrink our perception of the amazing beings we truly are. Now, of course, it's a choice sometimes, but a lot of the times it's not really conscious choice. We continue for years to identify with the bad feelings and story around the trauma. We develop a sense of low self-esteem. And the confidence we had within ourselves will weaken. You may look at somebody and say, wow, your perspective, your perception of them in a lot of cases, is much different than their perspective of themselves. You could say, wow, you're a wonderful, beautiful person. Aren't you just absolutely elated? And then they respond by saying, me? No. A lot of us, or if not all of us, at one time, shape, form, or another, we get traumatized in our lives. Most of us have some major form of wounding we are dealing with. We all have the choice in how we either embrace it or push it away. And this path is what leads us to healing and freedom. Path of creating more confidence in ourselves. Beings with practicing, trusting, and loving ourselves all day long. Being gentle with who we are, as the more often you love you, the more valuable, lovable, and precious you feel in this world. It's about you loving yourself. Not only that, when you can allow yourself to feel lovable, you start respecting yourself and the gifts you have to give to this world, because we all do. Every one of us have gifts to give to this world. You feel valuable and worthy of more love. You stop thinking about how unlovable you are or comparing yourself with others, believing that they are better than you. When we continue to dwell on and focus upon our wounding, only feeling that we are lacking, needing, or feeling not enough in our lives, then we stop having time for loving, approving, and appreciating who we are. When self-love is not happening on a daily basis, it opens the ground for the wound to fester and a lower self-confidence to root inside. If we do not establish a new perception or thinking pattern inside ourselves, we might just live our entire lives believing we are never good enough and feel as if life is one long hell ride of being dragged from the cradle to the grave. And maybe you've met someone like this. And as Lao Tzu quoted, when I let go of who I am, I become what I might be. Now, it is good to know that there are two basic types of self-confidence that we can tap into. First is a transient state of ego confidence that will come and go, because it's based in holding on to thoughts which always come and go. The mind attempts to grip firmly onto a strong positive idea about who you are. And then you feel good about you. This strategy will work for a certain measure of time, yet eventually, I am a powerful, confident person will shift to I am weak, and helpless, pathetic person when the great cyclone of life rips through. Whenever we hold too tightly, tightly onto any idea about who we are or who we are not, we soon see that this life will challenge the strength of this idea. You ever notice that maybe you've experienced where you're confident about some things, pretty confident, and then a bunch of stuff happens, and your confidence seeps away, and it's almost like a flip-flop. It does an opposite, and it challenges the strength of the understanding that we are powerful, confident beings. Some of us are flexible. Some of us can bend, with the wind. Others of us are firm and steadfast. And so if the wind gets too strong, we break. So it's like with life, as we know, will challenge the strength of our confidence, of our faith, of our trust in ourselves. So eventually, whenever any idea is shaken, cracked, or destroyed about ourselves, the ego comes crashing down, burying itself into the dark valley of insecurity and powerlessness, and then has to rebuild its inner structure again and again and again. And as Ramana Maharishi quoted, there is no use removing doubts one by one. When we clear one doubt, another doubt will arise, and there will be no end of doubts. But if by seeking the doubter is found to be really non-existent, then all doubts will cease. Now, the second type of confidence, right, is a spiritual confidence, which has nothing to do with ideas, beliefs, identity, or ego. This level of confidence stems from a perpetual discovery of one's super wonderful spiritual essence. It is an unveiling of the spiritual truth of who you are, without labels, judgments, masks, or coverings of any kind. Our true spiritual nature is tapped into an infinite source of love. And this love is deep and eternal. We naturally feel confident about this life because we are feeling into the very source of love, which always abides at the core of our being. By simply feeling into our deepest core, we find this spiritual connection is there. It is a gentle relaxation and effortless surrender into our deepest truth without words. There is a divine energy there, a conscious being who is beautiful, brilliant, and incredibly powerful. This naturally sacred being doesn't need to prove itself. Its beaming joy is self-evident and is quiet about how amazing and boundless it is. From this space, There is nobody who needs confidence or fears that someone is lacking confidence. All we see and feel is the shining light that we are. The small, powerless shadow self instantly disappears in the essence of this bright light, leaving no sense of separation from this life. And the pendulum stops swinging from feeling superior to being inferior. Perhaps the most vital piece of information that will help us remain in a state of perpetual self-confidence is that it is ridiculously easy and truly effortless to experience it. Everlasting confidence is our natural, effortless, and essence, and is continuously radiating at the core of our being. Now, we don't have to do anything to entice the sun to shine brighter. It is always already here, shining perfectly bright enough. The sun is a perfect example of who we are. It is always radiating its light on this world. It's naturally self-effulgent, perfectly warm to bring about life, and simply cannot be improved upon. This is exactly the way we are. And a quote from Osho is so exact about the civilization of this planet, about society. Everybody wants to be extraordinary, don't they? Some way, shape, or form, in most cases. That is the search of the ego. To be someone who is special, unique, and incomparable, right? This is the paradox. Because the more we try to be exceptional, the more ordinary we look, because everyone is after extraordinariness. It is such an ordinary desire. The very search to be ordinary is actually extraordinary. Because rarely does somebody want to be a nobody. Rarely does somebody want to be a hollow, empty space. Yet, this is really extraordinary because nobody wants it. So when you become ordinary, you actually become extraordinary. The search for higher self-esteem is very addictive and dangerous game to play, as we are continually trying to acquire a more improved version of ourselves and are never ultimately satisfied with who we are. The more energy we put into trying to become someone better, the more we miss out on the feeling that we are enough and continue to climb up and fall down the ladder of self-esteem. You come across somebody who is beautiful and vivacious and just wonderful, but yet how they believe in themselves, completely the opposite. Insecure, not sure, belittling of oneself, never satisfied of how one looks or feels.， And of course, the more tightly we grip onto the beliefs and perceptions about ourselves, the more rigid, complex, and crackable our self-esteem structure becomes. Eventually, when the big wind of this life blows through, every idea we were clinging to is shaken off, cracked, or destroyed. It is by putting less energy and effort into becoming someone who is confident that we create more time to spend in relaxation and enjoying bathing in our spiritual core essence. By simply enjoying this truly relaxed, healing space within, we become unshakable and capable of embracing the greatest storms when they do pass through. Ironically, the most solid foundation of confidence of them all is the one which feels connected with the sadness and weakness inside our human selves. We are not avoiding, attached to, or resisting the darkness, yet are simply rooted in the strength we find in our own authenticity. It is through our vulnerability that we find true strength in ourselves, able to remain centered in the most challenging life scenarios. This confidence is the strongest because it is the most flexible, capable of dealing with change and absorbing anything that life throws its way. It's good to know that the opposite of confidence is what? Doubt, fear, hesitation, uncertainty, and cowardice. Each of these experiences is a byproduct of a tight, tense, emotional, fear-based memory that is stored inside the body. The more integrated we become with the tension and the relaxation of the tension, our entire being finds the deepest place of relaxation, and confidence comes pouring through. You can see how essential it is to make time in your life to slow down from the racing mind and practice relaxing into each experience, whether good or bad. Use your breath as a vehicle to take you deeper inside, to touch everything within you, and eventually reach your innermost spiritual core. Play with the exploration, feeling the intimate spiritual connection you already have within yourself. And very soon, you will find that this simple, sweet inquiry transforms your entire life. There's the thread of breath, the thread of breath and emotional merging. Randomly, 5 to 10 times a day, feel into your connection with your breath. Relax deeply into it for at least 3 to 5 minutes. Feel into each inhalation and exhalation, expanding the belly and chest, allowing yourself to reach in and touch the deepest level of tension inside. Open up the reservoirs to let your good and bad feelings come flooding in. And with each breath, feel into the emotional peak and valley that currently exists in your life. Let yourself be massaged by the breath, bringing up the greatest pain and sadness inside, and let them merge with your deepest joy and bliss. Breathe into them both so they merge and dissolve into one energy. Let this mixed pool of energy dissolve back into your spiritual essence, the source of pure consciousness itself, where it originally came from. You can imagine that you are piercing the memories of your past with one thread of consciousness using your breath. The breath will push the thread, binding the feelings and memories together, melting and melding them as one. And as you feel through to the core of these feelings, they will change. And you'll naturally begin to relax deeper and discover a state of peace and stillness inside. Imagine you are rooting yourself internally in this space of stillness and deep peace, and practice living from this space as much as possible throughout your day. You will find that the breath is our greatest gateway to freedom. The more awareness we can create around our breath, welcoming its life-giving and receiving movements, the more we can relax deeper inside and trust the divine guidance of this life. As this trust reaches into our innermost core, we simply let go of the traumas that run our life and find true emotional healing inside. It is from simply following and feeling into the breath that we retrain our body to relax and can start connecting with the more spiritual aspects of our being. And from this space, being able to fully relax into our own body, a genuine confident state automatically takes over. What brings in confidence for you? Well, find what makes you smile. If you want a little burst of confidence right now, think about what puts a smile on your face first thing in the morning. Whatever it is, focus on it and imagine that it is happening to you right now. Let that good feeling come flooding in and show up in your face. Then let it flood all throughout your body. Confident people are not afraid to smile. They're full of real smiles, not the fake ones. And when you start practicing your outer smile, you begin accessing your real inner smile, the part that is truly happy inside you. Then there is no reason to ever fake a smile in this world again. So let your true inner smile come out and be displayed on your face this week. Let those happy feelings reach into the parts of your body that really need it. This is a very simple technique that will instantly help you to feel happy inside. And this breeds a solid state of inner peace. So you can access true confidence at any time. It seems kind of, we get into these cycles in this life. How many people have you come across that are 100% authentic, truthful, and real with everyone? This isn't a judgment. It's a discovery. Right in this now. Doesn't it make sense that people who feel insecure and powerless in this life are usually overoccupied with hiding how they truly feel? A truly confident being is unconcerned about the good and bad opinions of others. He or she is practicing authenticity because it feels good to be real. It simply feels liberating to not have to hide, and you can stop micromanaging this life to be a particular way. When we have zero fear about what others might think or say, we become naturally authentic, real, relaxed, grounded in our spiritual nature. The more that this is authentic, right? The more that this authentic expression becomes a habit and your home base, then everything that is false and insecure will eventually fall away. The authentic being is one who has the courage to reveal whatever they cannot talk about. There is always this movement towards a deeper sharing. Even if they feel insecure about something, the vulnerability brings out an even deeper confidence from within. An authentic being knows that it's okay to feel pain, express hard emotions, and understands that stuffing is the greatest cause of suffering. When we take the risk to be real, this truth-revealing energy bonds people together, eliminating the need for superficial games which keep people locked up in their ego. We can find the sweetest joy surfaces naturally from the more simple expression of our authenticity. Can you or will you practice becoming very silent and still? When we sit very, very, very still, like a solid, silent statue, randomly, for a few minutes every day, not moving at all, everything in your life will start to become crystal clear. As the busy beings that we are, it may not come easy at first to learn how to meditate and to do absolutely nothing. Yet, within this stillness, silence, there exists such a tremendous freedom. You instantly find the courage to do whatever you want in this life. And this allows the adult in you to be childlike and playful again. In total silence, we get in touch with the spiritual core of ourselves. and discover the naturally confident and charismatic being we truly are inside. By quieting our mind chatter, we let go of all efforting, especially trying to be confident. We start to sink deeper into our all-expansive, infinite spiritual nature. Here, we engage with everyone in this life from a divine perspective, seeing the spiritual essence within them. And thus life begins meeting you on the same level. So it's a choice for all of us to commit to sit in total silence for at least 5 to 10 minutes a day. Eventually, the mind will get rooted and become quieter inside with practice. The more often we sit still, the more clear the mind will get. And you will see who and what you truly are, as well as where you are going in your life. From this space, you are more effective in the decision and actions you choose throughout the day. Living your life from this silent space, you will begin feeling more guided, connected, and aligned with the mysterious unfolding of the universe within you. And we know that half the fun, like success, is a journey, not a destination. Half the fun is getting there, isn't it? Dita Billin. Now this is much bigger than taking on a perpetual self-esteem project that is never fully satisfied with the end result. Realize the truth of who you are. See this spiritual being inside you who is all-powerful, deeply and eternally loving, free from all doubt, insecurity, fear. By abiding or following what I've just shared with you, every day, you will become the number one priority in your life. And you will discover how easy it was to become a naturally confident being again. You may view it as a risk. Take the risk today. Take on this enlightening approach now. By opening yourself on an entirely new dimension to new sources of confidence inside you, life becomes a truly magical experience. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose. An easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. What do you think your ultimate dream life will look like the day it arrives? What will you look like in the mirror? And how will you feel inside? What's the story you're going to be telling everyone around you? Can you get clearer on all the juicy details? Now bring all your awareness deep inside to who or what is visualizing this amazing movie. Now stay there. You can bow down to the divine dreamer inside. The impossible is about to come true. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. You'll return here Monday, March 11, 2024, around 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, and purest of the purest, purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening within you or outside of you.